this off Misfits Boxing, the very first event. I think it's like 001 or whatever. Um, this is the event where KSI will be fighting twice in one night. The fight with Al fell through, and then Swarmz was the replacement. Got a little backlash. People was like, "What is this? Who's this guy?" And then he tried to say, "Oh, I'm gonna fight twice in one night." And the original second opponent turned out to be a Nazi white supremacist. So some more bad luck. But KSI said, "No, I'm gonna fight a pro boxer." So he's fighting Louis. What is it? Louis Pena? I'm probably butchering your last name. I apologize. But Louis. And so yeah, so credit to KSI for saving the event. And it's funny because a lot of people wasn't sold on the Al Sabi fight. I remember when that was announced, I'm like, well, it makes storyline. Al Sabi beat Deji. Um, and KSI and Deji, I mean, KSI and Al Sabi has history. So, you know, that's the reason why it made sense. But that's back then. Let's talk about this one. The actual schedule of the fight. KSI's gonna open the show and he's gonna close out the show. So shout out to him. That's big. A lot of people, big names, they wouldn't open the show, let alone, that's really you have to give us props to that. I thought he was going to open up well, I don't know if all these fights are pay-per-view only. I don't know if they have prelims. But if this was any other boxer, they probably would have been the first opening on the pay-per-view and then last. But for this one, like as soon as the doors open at 6:30, KSI might be coming out at 7, maybe 7:20. So shout out to him for coming in. And so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go into detail who I think's gonna win, the storyline of each fight. All right, first one, KSI versus Swarmz. This is Swarm's first ever fight. He hasn't been training that much. He hasn't been promoting this fight though, so credit to him. He know this is an opportunity. He made a diss track. He's doing interviews. He's getting his name out there. So put it this way, a lot of people know who Swarmz is right now versus let's say 2 months ago. It's gonna be opening, and I do see this being an easy dub for KSI. However, KSI and his team has to be smart because he's fighting twice. If somehow KSI's horns was like headbutt, clash of heads, or whatever, and he has a bad cut on it over his eye or forehead for that matter, that's gonna play into his fight, you know, literally in an hour or hour and a half, whenever the Lewis fight is. That's gonna play a part. Let's say KSI just whooping so much ass, he breaks his hand or busts his hand. That plays into as well. So I want to know the strategy for Swarmz. Because in case of ones, he could get him out there in one round. So I don't know. Do they want to like strategy like, hey, you're gonna need your energy for in a couple hours, or do they get him out there fast? So I really want to know this strategy. And the other guy, Swarmz, when you have somebody like that, who really don't know what they're doing, it's gonna be a lot of wild punches, a lot of shit that Kayla isn't going to expect because dude has never boxed before. So I'm looking forward to that one. Again, if it was just KSI versus Swarmz main event, KSI would have won easily. Now, one thing I will say for Swarmz is these are 10-ounce gloves, and anything can happen with 10-ounce gloves. So even with that said, I still have KSI. Um, but again, I don't know the strategy. I don't know the strategy of like get this guy out in round one or conserve your energy. And again, his team, Lewis' team, they're gonna be looking at this. They're gonna see how KSI jabs, his reaction when he gets hit in the body, his reaction when he gets hit in the face. They're all gonna be taking down notes. So will KSI have his best plan A for Swarmz, or they use a plan B, or like let's brawl a little bit, just to get. I don't know. It's very. And I think it's something nobody's really looking into. But he's going to destroy Swarmz, which is fine. He very well will. But what strategy? 'Cause you don't want to use your best shit, and then Lewis and his team's like, okay, we need this, 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 this. So I think that's something to be looked forward to. Um, and another thing, man, that's one thing with these YouTube boxing events. Whenever you guys watch a regular boxing event, I think the next big one is Canelo. Watch when the pay-per-view starts. That place is empty. For some reason, for boxing events, they really don't show up to the co-main event and main event. UFC isn't that problem, but yeah, maybe by the beginning of the pay-per-view, like 7%, like 8% is there. For boxing, for a reason, people take their sweet time. So with KSI being the very first fight, I expect that arena to be, if not fully packed, at least 70, if not 80% packed. So I know people want my prediction. I say KSI versus stoppage. He could stop Swarmz just by body shots, truth be told. Because as soon as the bell rings, everything that Swarmz was taught, he's going to forget. Why? Because it's a real fight. It's the real deal. So I see KSI be a stoppage. What round? I don't know what round these are. I would say round 2 or 3. I could definitely see, Swarmz surviving one round and then get stopped in round 2 or 3. Okay, and then the next fight, which will be the first heavy punch fighter, which will be Deen the Great versus Evil Hero. That'll be the first fight. Um, I have Deen the Great winning. The only thing I give to Evil Hero is this will be his third fight in front of a crowd. Evil Hero went from the bare knuckle fighting last year, which was the same event that had excuse me. So they had Blueface versus that TikToker and DK Money versus Nick Ireland. So that's the only thing I give to Evil Hero. He's had experience and he fought on the undercard of the Black China boxing. But besides that, Deen just has a skill. You can see him. He has a skill. He's been doing this for much longer. He's much more seasoned. The only thing is Evil Hero has been on this big stage before. Deen hasn't. If Deen freezes up in front of the big lights, in front of the big stage, again, that's 20,000 people. 20,000 people. And if KSI wasn't open to show, I don't think that place would be as packed as it would be. Again, I know it's gonna be at least 70% packed, if not more. So Deen will go up there, so all those people, credit the fans. They may not know who Deen is, so they might be uninterested, whatever. Or maybe not. Like if you look at the Craig Clash crowd, they was hyped from the very beginning. But we'll see. My only thing is if Deen, I don't want to get stage fright. You know, that's not the correct term. But if the big lights in front of 20,000 people, in front of millions of people, and again, it's different because Dean is known for finding like parking lots and in parks, whatever, in front of 50 people. So this is literally the big time, the big stage. Um, and I think all Evil Heroes has all been like the distance. I don't think he ever stopped anybody. But with that said, I still have Dean winning. Dean, I see this going distance. I see Dean winning unanimous decision. I think Dean wants to show up his skill. On every single one of these events, there's always a emerging star. And I think, well, I know Dean will be the emerging star from this card. I don't think Dean wants to stop him, if that makes sense. I think Dean wants to show off his skills, wants to show like, hey, I'm a major player in this YouTube boxing space. Dean was the first fighter for Head Punch. I think he was signed last July, last August. And it took him a whole year. Like Fousey and Keem, they tried to get the guy fight and just couldn't fight one. So now he sees this opportunity. He's gonna show out. So I think he's gonna show that he's levels above everybody in his weight class. So that's my prediction. I have Dean winning, be in that position. I think he's able to call out Jarvis after he wins. That'd be a good fight. Jarvis hinted that he's gonna be fighting at Craig Clash 2. So I can't see Jarvis taking a risky fight. um, before Crave Clash 2, and Crave Clash 2 is next April. Anissa has said that like the fire is gonna start camp in September, so I highly doubt that. A fighter that a lot of people want to see is Lil Craig Craig. I think Lil Craig Craig. Whatever you say his name, he's another YouTuber who does like he fights in park and stuff like that. He's another season guy, and I believe he's in Deen great class, and that would be the best technical fight in all the history of YouTube boxing. Because these two dudes, once you see them are seasoned, they know what to do, etc. But my pick is Deen Great. All right, and then my next one is Thompson versus Sam Hyde. This one, if you go to Thompson's IG, it's damn near Pornhub. Definitely don't go look at that page if you're at work or definitely at church, whatever. Uh, but yeah, I'm going with Sam Hyde on that one. I believe he was going to be, yeah, I think he originally was going to be on Craig Clash, but then his and Ida's relationship soured somehow, whatever. I don't know the whole story. So Sam has been in the gym a lot longer. Speaking of which, he helped train Harley, who was on Craig Clash. So I'm going Sam Hyde strictly because he's been training. He's been doing this longer than Thompson. You know. So again, Thompson's a big boy. This is a heavyweight fight. Heavyweight fight, 10-ounce gloves. Anything could happen. Anything. But I'm going Sam Hyde just off the Sam has been doing it longer. He's been more focused about it. He won't be on Craig Clash, and he couldn't. But I'm going Sam Hyde. I'm gonna go via stoppage. I know Sam Hyde wants to put on a statement, and again, he has some bad rep, for the whole Craig Clash thing. He wants to move past that and kind of have a new image, like, hey, I'm gonna do this boxing thing for a while. So I'm going Sam Hyde via stoppage against Thompson. And again, shout out to all people who's here. You can tell this is just gonna be a slow podcast, so I'm just doing my prediction right now. Tonight or maybe tomorrow, I would do my normal Twitter space where I invite people on to, guess and talk about the upcoming game. This is gonna be a solo, so I'm just breaking out each fight. So just go down my prediction for Sam Hyde. And it's funny, some of these fights I just can't go into depth. Into depth more, like Eva Hero. Shout out to him. If he wins, I have no idea what he does. If Thompson wins, I have no idea what he does next. So it's kind of hard to really go in more depth into that fight. But this fight I'm going to talk about Saw Papi versus Andy Warski. This is the fight that I think is going to be Saw Papi's coming out party. He stole a show at Showstar Boxing. There is no ifs or buts about that. Saw Papi literally stole a show. This one is excuse me, it's in London. Crowd's gonna be behind him. And Andy Warski, he wants to make a name. He wants to ruin Saw Papi's homecoming. So this is the fight that I'm really, really hyped about. So Papi, man, he has the personality, he has the charisma, and most important, he has the skill. So I think Saw Papi's gonna be a major player in the YouTube boxing scene. He wants to smoke with everybody. And with Andy, we don't know much about him. I know he wanted to fight another YouTuber. Um, he kept running away and said he wanted to fight and then change his mind, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Saw Papi. He has a skill. I think this is another one that a knockout would, you know, with a knockout goes viral and looks better. But I think Saw Papi probably want to show up his skills more because he said he wants to fight Slim, Deji, whoever. So I think he's kind of like Deen is gonna show out his skills. I can 100% see Saw Papi doing like, yo, I'm this better than this guy. I'm better than everybody. He's gonna be a first victim. But with Salt, it doesn't, again, these are 10-ounce gloves. So you can change like any cook clip Soft Papi, and the whole fight could change. I think Soft Papi was way too smooth and slick for that. Um, Andy knows this is a great opportunity for he has. He was the one who actually like leaked all the details, like, oh, he's be KSI Asasabi the O2 in August. And I think as I call the higher ups, but behind the scenes people was upset. But it showed me the dude was really excited. He was really excited for the opportunity. He knew what this was. So I think Andy's gonna show heart. I do like Andy could be stopped. I mean, he could be dropped or have stand at 8 count. But I think Andy's gonna be pushing. So I think this one going the distance. I think this be unanimous for Soft Papi. And Soft Papi wins and he looks big. Man, he can do anything he wants. He can fight whoever he wants. He's gonna have the Hype Punch team behind him. He's gonna have his fans behind him. And it'd be real interesting. Like if Deji wins, I could 100% see Soft Papi want to have that fight, him versus Deji. So that's my pick. That's Soft Papi versus Warski. Soft Papi walking away with the W. Okay, sorry for that. I had to go back and make sure I don't forget a fight. So now I have the whole list in front of me. The last fight that I guess would be quote unquote prelims, but it's not. That's King Kenny versus Faze Sensei. That's another huge fight. Like that, there's so many bangers on this event, and this one probably will be the best fight of the night without question. Faze Sensei, he said like this might be his last fight, so he wants to go up with Bing. King Kenny, he did good, but he just lost to a bad guy against Faze Temper. He was awarded a win, but he didn't really deserve it because the judges was scared of the crowd and shit. So King Candy wants to have a W. He wants that rematch with Face Temper. And hey, credit to King Candy, he's having no easy opponents. And so boxing, the more you do it, the better you're gonna get. And again, watch that fight with Temper. He wasn't bad. Temper was just better. So Kenny's gonna be 10 times better than he was for March because he's been determined. He wants to prove a point. And here's the thing with Face Sensei and King Kennedy. It's been a long time since since Sensei has boxed. Last time was 2018 undercard KSI versus Logan 1. Now, Face Sensei, the last time he competed in combat sports, he was on undercard of Vidal Riley when he was in Dubai, I believe. Dubai or Abu Dhabi, one of the two. That was a kickboxing match. And Face Sensei, he went against a guy who he shouldn't have been in a ring with. The guy was a Greek champion, etc. But hey, it was a good opportunity. And that was 2019. So last time Sensei has fought boxing, 2018. Last time he fought in combat sports, 2019. And he lost that kickboxing. The guy was just better. He was just more seasoned. But, it was in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, whatever. With Badel, KSI, and all that. So it was a big opportunity. So Kenny is the fresher fighter. He's the more active fighter. But Sensei has that knowledge. He has that experience. So it's gonna be really, it's gonna be really compelling this fight. I do see this as a W for Face Sensei, but I would not be shocked if both these guys get dropped in this fight. We know Face Sensei love that liver shot that dropped overflow. But I would not be shocked if Kenny clips, or even drops Face Sensei. I think King Kenny is determined. I think he's focused. And I think this is going to be the best fight. Even in case I was fighting a pro boxer, this is my fight of the night. And hopefully And Faze Sensei say, excuse me, Faze Sensei he wants it to be like a brawl. So this could be like, as I like to call it, a rock'em sock'em type brawl. Like Faze Sensei said, he wants to see blood. So it gets me excited, it gets the fans excited. But with that said, I'm gonna go with Faze Sensei on this one. I'm gonna go with Faze Sensei. I'm gonna say unanimous decision. I just can't see King Candy getting stopped and from the UK crowd. When he came out for at Showstar, that crowd was going insane for him. Hence the reason why the judges didn't want to give the W to Temper because they said, we don't want a damn riot. So that crowd's gonna be riding for Kenny. I just don't see it. I can't see Kenny. At least he just gets caught on the chin and he just gets dropped. But I get Faze Sensei, national decision. Or you know what? I'll switch. I'm gonna say split decision. We're in London. This is boxing. Some shade shit happen all the time in boxing. Again, they award Kenny the fight because they're scared. They awarded Deji said he won a fight when he didn't even win a round against Wasabi. So no, I'll be different. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a split decision. I think Sensei should win unanimously. I can see giving like, we'll give Kenny one of the judges will give Kenny the fight. So my pick, I got Faze Sensei versus King Kenny, be a split decision. And now, again, since there's no prelims and main card, now we're at the marquee fight. The marquee fights, I should say. The next one is Deji versus Fousey. It's very funny to have an 0-3 guy versus 0-1 guy so high up on the card. But hey, both the names is value. You know, a lot of people. This is it for Deji. If he's 0-3 in amateur and exhibition, and he lose this one as a pro, might be time for Deji to hang it up. He's gonna get Fousey. Um, People overlook Fousey because he lost to Slim, but his fight with Slim is very important in the history of YouTube boxing. If Fousey beats Slim, it's Fousey versus Jake Paul, and Gibb never gets that big fight. And the whole YouTube boxing world has changed. It's different as we know it right now. And speaking of determination, Fousey, he looks in great shape. He looks focused. His mindset looks to be great right now. When he was fighting Slim, like Ada Hearn, Jay Paul, they was all like talking behind the scenes, like, "Oh yeah, Fousey, when you beat Slim, and you would fight." So Fousey was already overlooking Slim, and you see what happens. You don't overlook nobody in boxing. I don't care who you are, and Fousey lost. For this one, man, I'm gonna go with Fousey. I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm going with the heavy punch. Besides that, man, Fousey just looks to be in a good space right now. Like even his fight against Slim, when he was clearly losing, had broken nose, just getting fucked up, he still was going forward. There was still no quit in him. And for Deji's not gonna make Fousey quit. You want a soundbite? That's it. Deji's not gonna make Fousey quit. I just cannot see it. And again, Deji has regressed. I'm sorry. His defense against outside was very good, but he didn't punch. And he was a heavy volume puncher against Vinny Hacker, but he got tired. So, there's nothing that Deji past has made me think like, okay, is this gonna be the next time? No, there's nothing that like, okay. And again, Deji had good defense, but whenever outside miss, he made outside miss punches, but he never like countered or made outs pay for it. That's what I was trying to say. So, but again, Deji will be better. I know for a fact Fousey will be better. I know Fousey will have the more power. He's gonna have the more strength. And I really think that Fousey need this. When Fousey fought Slim, that's when he left YouTube. That's when, he's in a bad space. And so he's like, oh, I'm gonna come back to boxing, I'm gonna fight Jake Paul, I'm gonna do it. That's gonna be his big comeback thing. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out like he thought. This one, I can see Fousey really. And I know he has height punch and financially, but personally, he really wants this fight. Like he needs this fight against Deji. If he doesn't have Deji on his resume, that would really do wonders. This one, though, this is gonna be very, very interesting because again, nothing in Deji's past has made me be like, oh man, Fousey need to watch out for this. Or what Deji has good defense against Al-Sabi, but in my opinion, he has regressed every fight. He just has that you should have beat Ben Hacker. Didn't happen. They should have beat Al-Sabi. Didn't happen. On paper, he should beat Fousey. Is that gonna happen? In my opinion, I don't think so. I think this is a fight where, and again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I know Fousey's focused. I know he's hungry. I know he's determined. But maybe this is the fight where Deji goes 0-4, and people are like, you know what, Deji, maybe boxing just isn't for you. It's not. It's not for everybody. So I'm riding with the home team. I got Fousey. I'm gonna go via again. I'm gonna go via split decision. I do. I'm again. We're in the UK. Even I know the Joshua fight happened last Saturday. Some judges scores was ridiculous. They had Joshua win like what 9 rounds or something like that, or 7 rounds was ridiculous. So you gotta put that in perspective. I know this is YouTube boxing, but they're in the pro boxing world now. All these guys fighting 10-ounce gloves. They're fighting on pro platforms. So I can easily see him giving Deji the fight. Even if it's close. But I'm going to say Fousey via split decision. And so, again, as you can tell, I got all the Hate Punch fighters going 5-0. I got Saw Papi, Sam Hyde, Fousey. Let me make sure I didn't forget any fights. Oh, yeah, it's Deen, Saw Papi, Sam Hyde, Sensei, and Fousey. I have them all winning, walking with dubs. His last 2 fights aren't affiliated with Hate Punch at all, or MVP, which is the Jake Paul's promotion. The co-main event, which is so crazy. If you would said this fight would happen months ago, they were like, no, it wouldn't happen. We're finally getting Slim versus Temper. Slim versus Face Temper was slotted to be on, I think, Social Knockout 2, but they couldn't agree on a weight. So Temper said no to that fight, and then instead he fought on Showstar. Hey, Slim hasn't won a big fight for years. Slim has called out any everybody he wants a big fight. And earlier this year, Slim was going to fight Ryan Taylor, which I don't care about Ryan Taylor at all. And a lot of people told Slim, hey, don't take that fight. We see Ryan Taylor don't care about boxing, don't care about anybody. And look what happened. That hit, Slim Adam got jumped and he got hurt, he got injured. I'm like, well, you should know better. But you know what? I ain't gonna say that was a blessing in disguise. He got fucked up his eye. I think he had a surgery or something. Anyway, he's injured. So I don't want to say a blessing in disguise. But some bad shit happened. And now he's getting what he's wanted for years. It's a big fight. Him versus Temper is a huge fight. Slim's 3-0, all knockouts. Temper, you can see, is the real deal. So this will be probably my second or my third pick for like 5 to 9. I already think this is going to be a great fight. I'm going with Temper though. I think if again another late replacement, Temper was supposed to fight Blueface, and what do you know, Blueface and the girlfriend fought. Imagine that. So they take him off the card, and they were scrambling. Some people was like, "Oh, one of KSI versus Temper," and I was like, I mean that'd be a great fight, but he kind of killing the co-main event in the main event. I was like, I don't see that happening. Slim, great, great substitute. Fighting wise, probably the better substitute. Name wise, of course, Blueface just has a bigger name. But with that said, Slim promoting the hell out of this. Some said, yo, after I get done with Temper, I want to give So it's gonna be good. And Timber just said, "Oh, if I win, I want KSI." So the co-main event guys, they're acting like main eventers. Both of them are saying, "If I get done with this dude, I want to move to something bigger and better." Shout out to these guys. But I'm going with Temper. I think if some had a full camp, like a 12 to 8 week camp, just focusing on Temper, maybe we'll pick him. But again, I don't know if his eye is 100%. I really don't. But Slim is 100%. He has been training for a full 8 to 12 weeks. I think when he got jumping around the table, that was like in June or maybe early July or just in August. So there's no way he could have like sparred in that time. But Slim is the more again he has more fights, so he's more experienced guy. So we'll see. But I'm going with Temper. I can see Temper getting stopped with 10-ounce gloves. If you watch Temper versus King Kennedy, if they had 10-ounce gloves, I don't think Temper would have got the stoppage against King Kennedy. There was times that like yeah, these 14, 16-ounce gloves is a reason why King Kenny's still standing. But King Kenny probably would have got up if he got dropped, whatever. But I see this being a huge fight. And if Slim gets the upset, hey, Slim get the upset against Fousey. Yeah, he get the upset against Temper and him versus Gibb. We all wanted the battle of the beasts of the Middle East. We want to just get after them. But yeah, I'm going with Temper via stoppage. I don't think either dude is going to hold everything back. I don't. I think there's going to be a brawl, but I do think that Timber is the better fighter. If Sim had a full camp, like I said, 8 to 12 weeks, maybe I couldn't be swayed. But he's not 100% healthy. His eye isn't 100% healthy. I don't know the last time he's actually sparred. So I'm going with Temper. And again, his eyes, he wants to fight KSI. And I like that, man, because so many people, especially in people, think like you gotta have beef, you gotta hate the other guy. No. Sometimes a fight sells itself. If KSI and Temper was to happen, it's a huge fight. KSI, the king of YouTube at the moment, is the creator of Faze Clan. You guys know, I always want Faze Clan versus the world. Hey, this might happen. Faze Clan versus the world, especially if Faze Sensei wins. Um, but yeah, I'm going Temper via stoppage. I will say, that's his second, third round. I can see Temper holding back round one. Not holding back, I'm sorry. He's gonna go out there and fight, but he's gonna calculate Slim's moves, Slim's patterns, and then him and his team will make the in fight adjustments and get the stoppage. How can I see Slim winning? If Temper just underestimates him, it's the only way I can see Temper losing. If Temper just underestimate Slim, like Fousey did, and like a lot of people did, and Slim catches him again with 10-ounce gloves, everything changes. I'm riding with Temper, and that brings us to the main event. That's KSI versus Lewis, which is the pro boxer. KSI would not be the first YouTuber to fight a pro boxer this year that goes to Money Kicks. He was on the prelims of the Joshua fight over in Saudi. That Money Kicks lost, and he lost via split decision, which was ridiculous. Money Kicks maybe won one round. I don't know how he won the fight, but you know, the KSI could be the first YouTuber to beat a pro boxer. A lot of people didn't watch that Money Kicks fight, so they don't know or care. But yeah, KSI's gonna beat Jake Paul to the punch of fighting that pro boxer and beating him. And that's my prediction. KSI and his team are calculated. They're not going to have a big risk in the main event, and he just had a previous fight that same day. Now, I'm not saying Lewis is weak, not at all. He's a pro boxer. He does this, but there's a reason why every pro boxer is one opponent a night. But okay, I have to put all my focus, all my energy and all my homework into one guy. For this one, no. So I see KSI having the dub. Um, I can't see I can't see Luis winning. I just can't do it. Again, KSI and his team did homework. They're not going to, for example, it's not Swarmz and Josh Brutner in the main event. Because they know Josh Brutner is a risk. A fight like that, you would have to do homework, a full, weeks, if not months, research. This dude literally got on the card like within 14 days, 10 days. So I think this is gonna be an easy dub for KSI. And I believe this isn't his even natural weight class. I think he like fights like 150, if I'm not mistaken. So he's coming up. Um, but no one cares. Like he wants to have two knockouts or two stoppages in the same day on the same event. Excuse me. So I see KSI be a stoppage. And if Temper wins before him, hey, he might call out Temper. And then after the Temper fight, if he beats Temper, we get the Jake Paul fight. Boom. So, all right, guys, that is my prediction of the Misfits boxing event. Um, I broke down the fights best as I could. Again, some of these fights I can go more in depth than others. Slim versus Temper, big fight. Because if Slim wins, he wants Gibb. If Temper wins, he wants KSI. In the main event, KSI wins and Temper wins, boom. If Temper loses, KSI can fight whoever he wants to. That's one thing when you're a main eventer, you have all the clout, you have all the shots. So it's an important fight. Deji versus Fousey. I will say this. I partially said this when I was bringing the fight. If Fousey wins, I could see him like leaving at top. Riding off on top. I can see Fousey say, "I did it. I got my W. I'm retired on a W. I'm gone." If Deji lose, he 100% needs to retire. Four straight losses. Yeah, he would definitely call it a career. Will he? I don't know. He's been boxing for all these years. He's been putting his effort, his time into it. We'll see. Now, if Deji wins, I ain't gonna say Deji could fight anybody, but he's still a big name. If Showstar is still around, I can see Deji going back to Showstar saying, "Hey, let's do this. Let me be your main event guy again." Maybe Deji versus Papi, maybe Deji versus Joe Weller, maybe. King Candy, if he beats Face Sensei, which I personally don't see happening, he wants to fight with Face Temper. Maybe that happens. Who knows? Face Sensei, he said that this be his last fight. I don't see that. I see now training camp sucks. We don't know. Face Sensei, he runs a dojo, so he has a normal 9 to 5. He's not full time content creator. But man, there's nothing like that rush of being in there, getting a W. And again, if he beats King Candy, he could be bigger and better fights. A fight people aren't talking about is JMX. JMX, he wanted to fight Wade and face Sensei. I don't know how it's gonna work because you know JMX is he got that reach and height advantage. But if face Sensei beats King Candy, face Sensei could fight JMX. Just Brutner fight that was rumored that never happened. That fight could happen. So I don't think this is it for face Sensei personally. I just don't see it happening. I think he's getting married soon. So hey, these checks are gonna go towards the wedding, the honeymoon. So I could see basically say winning. I mean, one to continue to fight after this. I think that's it. Again, if your hero wins, I don't know what happens. If Deen Great wins, he says he's gonna call it Jarvis, which I don't know what's gonna happen. Because Jarvis room to fight on Kurt Crash too. Anthony Taylor had joined. They've been going back and forth. Maybe we finally get Dean versus Anthony Taylor. We don't know. And Warski, if he wins, what happens? That's a great point. If he beats Saul Papi somehow, we might see a rematch. That's something I forgot to mention as well. We could definitely see Andy Warski versus Saul Papi too. Yeah, and Keem and Annie seem to have a good relationship. Hell, Keem might sign him if he can, beat Salt Papi. If will Sam Hyde do a fight after this? I have no idea. Will Thompson fight after this? I don't know. It's just kind of hard. Some people I can go more in depth than others, and some people are like, I just gotta see. But that's what makes YouTube boxing so interesting. The unknown. We don't know if even we don't know. Let me put it this way: for Clay Clash, I think originally people was like, okay, this is one done for all these people. I think we're gonna be shocked. I think a lot of people who's on Clay Clash 1 is gonna fight on Clay Clash 2. The same thing for this one. For Misfits, they might damn, I can talk right now. I think a lot of these fighters are going to be appreciative of the opportunity, they'll be appreciative of the fans, seeing their names everywhere. I really can see them really enjoying the momentum and everything. So, I don't know. Some of these people, again, I didn't see anybody on Craig Clash 1 going to fight again. It was like majority of them going to fight. But for Misfits, everyone on here, win or lose, could want to fight again. I know Swarmz wants to fight Jake Paul. I don't see it happening. Jake wants to fight a pro boxer right now. But when Swarmz lose, could he fight again? Yeah, he can fight wherever he wants to. Maybe DK Money, if they're in the same weight class. Because DK Money is a legit fight. And that's going to be it. Yeah, that's going to be it for my Misfits Boxing prediction for the first event. That is a rumored second event happening in October. And I don't know. I heard once it was going to be in the U.S. Now it's rumored to be in London. I have no idea. But yeah, be on the lookout for Misfits. I think it's going to be one happening August 27th, October, December, and I think January, February. So the zone, you know, if you guys look at my Twitter account this year, I said, oh, the zone wants to get back in the YouTube boxing business. Since they're in the pay-per-view business, and boom, well, you know it, they're in the KSI business. So, again, that's going to be it for my Misfits boxing prediction. I don't think I forgot. I don't think I forgot anything. If so, just let me know. Um, I'm gonna try to do a regular trust space tonight. And Taylor's here. If he's gonna be up in a couple hours, maybe he can be a guest. They want to do one tomorrow, um, on a more UK friendly time. And Saturday, I will be doing a post show recap of Misfits. I get the day off from work, so I'm gonna watch the fight, watch the event, and then maybe like 30 minutes or hour or two after the event, I'll do the post show recap. So yeah, guys, this is fight week, and there's nothing like fight week, man. You really start to feel it. I think Wednesday is the media workouts, and that's this. It's a workout, but that's when you'll see all the fighters do interviews with like Fight Hub, Fight Hype. I see him talk to Coogan on his. You'll see a lot of like interviews, video interviews on Wednesday. Thursday's the press conference. Friday's the weigh in, and then boom. So you really start to feel it on Thursday and Friday. You see the press conference. You see how intense these guys are. You truly get to see the size of these guys. Because again, Thompson, he might be taller than Sam Hyde. I know Sam Hyde's a big guy, but Thompson's a big dude. When you guys see him face to face, like, oh shit, it's gonna be, you know, two legit heavyweights. It's in the big boy division. So it's a good week. Ain't nothing like fight week. And so yeah, that's my prediction. Hopefully, no fight gets canceled, man. We are at two main canceled fights, two main postponed events. Let's have Misfits go down smooth. First goes two, allegedly just coming like 20 days, allegedly. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. And so you guys either tonight or tomorrow. And you can follow me on Fight Lounge on YouTube, IG, Twitter. I'm posted, so you can come at the late or beginning of this. I'm put the whole thing in total on YouTube channel. So, all right, peace out.